Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is episode 2 of Twitter Talk. Quick recap on what it's about. Basically, it's about me just going through Twitter and giving me opinion on tweets, football tweets to be exact. But yeah, if you haven't seen the first video, I will leave a link into the description. Please check it out. Let us know what you think. As always, if you do like the video, please give it a like and subscribe. Really appreciate it, guys. But yeah, in future videos, if you would like to have your tweet in the video, leave it in the comments below or at me on Twitter. But yeah, without further ado, I'm going to jump straight in. Obviously, I'm going to read them here on my phone, but as you see, the tweet it will be in the video for you. But yeah, Tellez will easily be the best left back in the league. We better not screw this up. Now, just in terms of Tellez to Manchester United. See, this is the problem. This is why for me Pogba gets all the shit. Like, would it be an upgrade on Shaw? Yes. Would it be the best in the league? No, not even close. For me, Tierney would be up there. I would say he's not the best. For me, Robertson's the best. Not being biased, he just is the best. I would say Lucas Digne is up there as well. Ben Chilwell, you could say, but I feel like the price tag has sort of has made people go a bit mad about Ben Chilwell. He is a good left back. He is one of the best in the league, but is he worth the money Chelsea paid for him? That's the question. That's why I think people just don't really rate him now, which is a bit mad because I'd say 6 months ago, like, people were saying he was one of the best in the league, and now 6 months later, it's like, nah, Chelsea overpaid. It isn't the player's fault. For me, would Telles be one of the best in the league? Yes, I would say he would, but is he gonna be the best? No. I feel like it's done. Like, Man United fans sort of do this with Pogba, and look, we might get the Pogba in the future videos. I say we might. I'm almost certain we will. Like, they compare him to Kevin De Bruyne and things like that, and I feel like then when Pogba does have a bad game, he gets a lot of unnecessary, I would say sometimes, shit said about him. But like, for me, it is the fans' fault. Like, it's not Pogba's fault. Well, it is Pogba's fault for dropping fucking 2 and 3 out of 10 sometimes, but like, I feel like they hype him up to a certain level, like De Bruyne's level, and he's just not on it. And I feel like straight away, Telles hasn't even played a game in Manchester United short, and already they're saying he's the best in the league. Luke Shaw is just not good enough for Manchester United. He doesn't have anything offensively, really. Telles, he's a big improvement, I would say, offensively for Manchester United. I think he's a great signing. I think he's a must signing, especially for 20 million, which is what's being talked about at the minute. 20 minutes a no-brainer. Like, go get him, get it done. But like, is he the best in the league? No. Is he one of the best? Yeah, maybe so. But I feel like he needs to be tested. Coming to the Premier League will test him. And yeah, he's definitely an upgrade on Luke Shaw and Brandon Williams, who I didn't really mention. But I mean, Luke Shaw is the main starter for Manchester United. Next is in regard to Dele Alli possibly leaving Spurs, and Jesse Lingard coming in. Now, here's the tweet. But I know how everyone's going to react to this, but honestly, Lingard will be a good player for us. His link-up play is brilliant. We need a challenger for Dele Alli. He was really good under Jose Mourinho, and if he wants him, then trust me, Jose knows. Like, you can't go out and buy Lingard and expect it to be justified by, like, it's just not justified. Ali's a better player. It's that simple. Is he lazy sometimes? Yeah. Is there question marks over his ability? I would say no. He has got the ability, but he is a lazy player. He is inconsistent. He hasn't been playing well for, I'd say, the last 12 months, 18 months possibly. But and yeah, I suppose you could. I would agree with part of the video. Like, he was good. Like, Lingard's best spell at Manchester United was under Jose Mourinho. You could say that. But just like, and also with the tweet, we need a challenger for Dele Alli. Like, Lingard will not come in and challenge Dele Alli. For me, I think Lingard comes in if Dele Alli leaves. So part of the tweet for me is misleading a little bit or mistaken. And I feel like Lo Celso was there and Dominic playing that role, and I feel like them two are just better than Lingard. I don't think Lingard offers that much. His link-up play is okay, nothing special. I feel like Dele Alli is better at getting the, well, was better. We don't really see it that much, but was better at holding up the ball and getting in and joining attacks late, and getting goals near the edge of the box. feel he's good in the year. Like he has a lot of good abilities and good things about his game. And for me, he's just streaks ahead of Jesse Lingard. I feel like that is a silly signing, I would say, for Jose Mourinho to make or Spurs, especially if it's literally just to get rid of Dele Alli, to then go out and sign Lingard. Like I feel the reason that getting rid of Dele Alli, as Mourinho has said so far anyway, is he wants more balance in his team. But for me, Lingard is just a worse version of Dele Alli. So your balance is not going to be better, and then the quality of your squad will dip for me bringing in Lingard for Dele Alli, because Dele Alli is at a different, like he's different quality. Like he's better, and like that's just the silliest signing ever. Like I feel, and for a part 30 million as well. Like if Manchester United get 30 million for Jesse Lingard, like that'd be up there with the best bit of business they've done in the last like 2 or 3 seasons. Like that's really good business for them. It's just it can't happen. It can't happen, and there's not a hope I would sit here and say Jesse Lingard is better than Dele Alli in any way, shape or form. Dele Alli's the better player. It's a no-brainer that you don't get rid of Lingard, or don't get rid of Dele Alli, sorry. And it's that simple. Like Dele Alli stays for me. If you're going to go out and sign Lingard, Dele Alli has to stay, because that just can't happen. Like, next up is regard Sancho to Man United. And I feel like up until the end of the transfer window, we might have a couple of these in different episodes. I think the last one we covered it, where I asked the question about, or where the question was asked of would it be enough for Sancho. Here's a response. Basically, truth is, even Sancho isn't good enough. He'll improve us, but he doesn't make us closer to Liverpool and Man City on his own. He'll be unveiled as the big W later in this transfer window, but it's not enough. Two things. Partly I would agree that it isn't enough based on the performance on the weekend against Crystal Palace. I feel like that performance was missing more than the right winger. I feel like we'll touch that in a future video. But I feel like because of the start of the transfer window, as I said in the last video, because of the start of the transfer window, when Manchester United were looking very closely at Jadon Sancho, it was looking very likely that the player was going to come to Manchester United, and then it just didn't happen. I feel like there was a lot of hype about Manchester United, and we're going to close the gap, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and I feel like if Sancho doesn't come in now, I feel like I could see it going, like, it's a big win. It's not enough, because I feel like if Sancho comes in, I feel like it'll lift players around the club, and Manchester United would probably start playing a little bit better. I feel like the way they played against Palace, I'm not going to just walk over it. We will look at it in another video, but I feel like it is the first game back. Some players questionable performances, which we'll definitely get into in future videos. In the next video, I would say. Telles coming in as well as Sancho would be a step up again. But I do feel like a centre back would be needed. Like if I was Manchester United right now, I would probably, if the Sancho deal is dead in the water or near dead, I would leave it be and I would go and I'd get alternatives. Like Zaha on the weekend showed he's still got talent. Depay would be possibly another new. I know he's sort of a left-sided, he can play up front. I feel like he could do a job on the right. I think he's had first refusal. I've seen like €30 million. He still has quality. Like he's another attacking option. I feel like it takes the hindrance off Martial and Rashford to perform all the time. Greenwood could then come into the team a little bit more. I feel like just any sort of decent, a player with good ability, like Sarr would be another option. But I feel like Sarr will then be your backup then coming in to just freshen up the team, or give rest to Rashford or Martial or Greenwood. Whereas I think Manchester United are actually going out looking for starters in the team. And then have the likes of Greenwood maybe to come on. So obviously starting some games, but maybe not all of them. But yeah, I feel like if that Sancho deal is near dead, I feel like let it go. I feel like go out and get a centre back, go out and get a DM, and go out and get Telles wrapped up. And I feel like that, although you still need a right winger, I feel like turn your attention to a different right winger, cheaper option, and then reinforcing them other areas would make Manchester United a much tougher opponent this season. I feel like just the Sancho deal, even just the Sancho and Telles deal right now is sort of like, we'll take it sort of thing. But I feel like it could have lived up to be a big season for Manchester United, especially with getting into the Champions League last season when it looked extremely unlikely at Christmas. when Leicester looked like they were walking away with that top four, and Chelsea did too, to be honest. But yeah, funny we mentioned that because the next tweet, there is only 4 tweets in this, so this is the last tweet, but I feel like this last tweet is sort of bringing 2 topics into it, and it may take a little bit to go through. Lampard is absolutely wrong for Chelsea, just like Ole from Manchester United. Now, when I put it up, they've tagged BBC and stuff in it. I checked if he's not a BBC follower, so I wasn't just taking things like that. But right, first, I feel like while I was just talking about Sancho, I feel like we may as well talk about Manchester United a little bit and Ole. I feel like Ole has transformed Manchester United a little bit. I wouldn't say he overperformed whatsoever last season, because I feel like before the season started, I feel like there was optimism of a top 4 finish for Manchester United. They were absolutely smashed with injuries at the start of the season. Pogba missed out on a lot of game time. I think Rashford got injured for them. Like, they were missing key players at key times, in fairness. Bruno Fernandes comes in, rejuvenates them. Then they go on a 13 or 14 game win streak, or unbeaten run anyway, which took them to the top 4 spot. There is some games where I look and I think Manchester United don't have any game plan. I feel like it's just, right, we had a starting 11 and it's our best team and that's it. If we're losing, we don't have the option. Is that down to Ole? I would say no. I would say it's more recruitment. I know, look, Ole has got a lot. I see a lot of comments saying that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer it just bypasses Ole because he's a Manchester United legend and things like that, and Mourinho would be absolutely crucified. And I feel like everything has changed since Mourinho, because I feel like Manchester United are going in a different direction. They're going with different players. They want players that are hungry for the short, and I get this whole thing. I feel like their signings have actually been good. Maguire for 80 million. It's a lot of money. Is he the world's most expensive player? Or best expensive defender? Not a hope. But Manchester United don't make the prices. I also feel like when a team like Manchester United go for a player, they do get that little bump. Like, he's really a 60 million player and Manchester United are interested, so we'll bump her up to 80 million. And I feel like there was a lot of pressure on that transfer that had to get done, because it was another saga that went on like this season with Jadon Sancho. In terms of, like, it just took 6-7 weeks. Eventually Manchester United just paid it anyway. I feel like if it was just done there and then, right, that's what they wanted, blah blah blah, I feel like there would have been more talk that we didn't try negotiate and stuff like that. But yeah, I would say Ole, for me, is he the right fit? I feel like partly he actually could be. I feel like maybe as a coach he could do a little bit better with some players, but I feel like most players have improved. Martial has improved, although it was never really a question of ability with Martial and players like that. Like, we knew that he had the ability. His first season when he came in, he showed that he had the ability. It was more so attitude with Martial. He sort of, under Mourinho, again, systems. Under Mourinho's defensive system, he wasn't at it, which you would expect. Like, all he wants to play a bit more open attacking stuff, which does suit the likes of Rashford, Martial, Greenwood, Bruno, Pogba, and he's right. Wan-Bissaka, at right back, 50 million. He is one of the best in the league in full back. Like, we will look into him a bit more in depth in future videos, I would say. And I know I keep saying that, guys, but like, I do plan on going in depth in different teams, in most teams in the league, in different positions, in different areas, and in future videos. These are literally just opinions. I don't want to go into a big spiel about every single player at the club. I feel like he is for me, he's more of a fit to Manchester United, and because I feel like there's actually a plan with Ole, whereas I didn't see a plan with Jose Mourinho at the club. Yeah, you could question him with some of the decisions he makes, but you also, like, when you're playing against a team and you have your best players on the pitch, all you can really do is bring on players for legs. Like, you can only bring, like, for me, they don't have that option. Igalo for me would be the main option, and Dan James maybe off the bench just for that bit of pace. But I feel like when Greenwood and Martial and Rashford are playing, that's the best attacking three. I feel like Bruno Pogba is their best midfield, along with whoever may play, Fred, Matic, McTominay. But I feel like the only options for me Ole can make when he's losing, he can either take off a defender and just stick on a right winger like Dan James and just go for it if he's losing, or So I feel like maybe recruitment is what's holding Ollie back. I also feel like they have spent a bit of money. Um, so like the excuse can be there for Ollie because he spent 200 million or whatever. Um, but like he also took over a team that went out and spent 400 million. And I get putting your whole spin on things as well. I feel like they need a big summer this season. I feel like getting top four last season was helped out with how poor other teams were. I feel like Leicester went on a bad run and gave up a top four spot when it shouldn't have been. I feel like any other team really with a bit of consistency in it would have held on to the top four spot. I feel like Spurs, Arsenal sort of done Manchester United and Chelsea a favour. I feel like if they had turned it on early or played a bit more consistent, like you would expect to be fair of Jose Mourinho team, I feel like either Chelsea or Man United would have missed out. Because teams, Manchester United, in fairness, that run towards the end, like I think they went 14 games unbeaten, like shows that the quality's there, the intent is there. So I would say Ollie does fit Manchester United as of now. But to be honest with you, if I'm really going to look at it, if Manchester United don't get Jadon Sancho and Telles in, and literally end, if Manchester United transfer window ended here or just Telles came in, I could see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer being sacked by Christmas. A Jose Mourinho type. I feel like there's so much negativity around Manchester United right now. It's brushing up on it's brushing out onto the playing pitch. Like when they're playing, they were absolutely atrocious, to be fair. On the weekend against Palace, and I feel like it's just brushing off onto the players. Everything around Manchester United now is just negative. Even when the club come out and there's like question the fans and stuff, saying you need to be more happy like with what we're doing, like when really Manchester United fans were expecting fucking Sancho to be done. It's a bit of a mess. Like I don't think that's down to Ollie, but how things are going. I feel like it is transfers is really what's like settling the club. I feel like Danny Van de Beek is a good signing. I feel like a right winger, left back. I feel like it was a position that didn't exactly need to be strengthened. It gives you another option. But I feel like if you went out and got a DM like someone like Tonali or someone like Alan off Everton, as I alluded to last, instead of signing Van de Beek, I feel like Manchester United's midfield takes a step up. I feel like getting in Van de Beek, it's just another option. It's same for me, class midfield. But I feel like it hasn't added any quality. Telles will come in and add quality to Manchester United starting 11. I feel like a DM would have really helped that then, would have helped out the back, and then you sign it off then by going out and signing Jadon Sancho. I feel like then you have a decent window. You get a DM rather than Van de Beek. You get into Telles, who's looking very likely, and it is questionable whether Sancho goes or not at the minute, but I could still see it happening. There's 2 weeks left. I could easily still see it happening. So yeah, I would say Ollie is a good fit for Manchester United. I feel like Manchester United need to do business, and I feel like he's a more fitted to Manchester United than some managers have been in the past. Frank Lampard for me, Frank Lampard last season had a free run for me. There was no expectation. I feel like getting top four, like it wasn't guaranteed. I feel like if Chelsea had to finish 5th this season, even 6th, I don't feel like there would have been much question marks over Frank Lampard. I feel like he would have been still in the job. For me, he had, I would say, a free little run. His fucking hands were tied, in fairness, when you consider he didn't have a transfer window. He sold Hazard, but if you flip it on the other side, I feel like Kovacic was brought in knowing full well that they had a transfer ban. And I feel like Pulisic was brought in to replace Hazard regardless. Not saying that they wouldn't have bought anyone last season, but just saying like they did spend money, they did get in players. They brought in it. Like people say, he lost Hazard, never replaced him. Pulisic was to replace Hazard, and that's facts. For me, Lampard had a free run last year. I wouldn't say he performed amazingly, but I feel like the squad he had, like he was playing a lot of young players who played in championship level the season before. So I feel like to get them into the top four was a good achievement. This season you're sort of seeing like a different side of things. I feel like this season is going to really test Frank Lampard in a lot of ways. I feel like he doesn't know what way he wants to set up. I feel like he's like, when you look back at Fulham when they first come up, and I'm not comparing Chelsea to Fulham, Jesus Christ, but I'm just saying when they first come up, they made a lot of changes to the team, and they just couldn't gel and they couldn't get going. Like they've made a lot of signings, and fair enough if you're going out and signing players, maybe like if you sign 6 or 7 players for me, and maybe 1 or 2 or 3 of them maybe come into the starting 11. But when you're going out to sign 6 or 7 players and literally all of them are intended for, like Mendy is just about done. Thiago Silva for me starts. Sarr you could question. I feel like Thiago Silva and Zuma will start for Chelsea, but Sarr is another option. Chilwell starts. He's looking at a DM and maybe Declan Rice. There's talk now of Guendouzi, which is crazy. But I feel like because he's actually requested, he wants a DM, someone to just sit there. I feel like he's going to start. If he does go out and get a DM, he will start. So that's 4 players. That's starting. Werner was a starter. Havertz was a starter. Ziyech was a starter. Like, you're talking, that's 7 players. Like, that have never played together. That from all different clubs, have to get used to the systems that are coming in now to play in this Chelsea team. You might, like, if you have 4 players from last season, all in different positions, like not really partnerships. Reece James, you could say, with Zuma maybe. But I feel like last season even the whole back line was sort of rotated a little bit. Aspilicueta was in. In midfield, you have Jorginho. Who's he going to partner? Or is Kovacic? I'm going to say Kovacic starts. Who's he going to partner? Like, you know, I feel like 7 changes into your starting 11. Although they are upgrades, like if you take them out on personnel-wise, you put them one by one. I feel like most of the new signings get in because they're better players. But when you're mixing the team up so much, it does take time to gel. And I feel like now expectation is on Frank Lampard to go get top 4. He's been tipped to go for the title. And to be honest with you, I would fear for Frank Lampard this season. We've seen how ruthless Chelsea are with managers. Is he the right fit for Chelsea? I'm not too sure. Like, I don't know. Like, if he wants a DM, he's looking at a 4-3-3, and I feel Havertz is better as a 10. But I feel like if you're going to play the 4-3-3, Havertz might have to play in the wing, or he might have to play at a centre forward. Because I see Werner, who's looking very, very good so far, like coming in playing that left hand side, and Ziyech playing on the right. So for me, Havertz is going to have to get accustomed to being like that forward, that most advanced forward. Could be completely wrong here, but like I worry for Frank now because he's been tipped to go for the title now this season, and Chelsea have backed him. Over 200 million has went in to the team without signing Mendy yet. That's just about done. There's talk Declan Rice comes in for maybe 50-60 million. So like you're talking up close to fucking 300 million. In one season. For me, Chelsea are going to expect a big return on the money. I feel like top 4 is a necessity, has to be guaranteed for Chelsea. And I feel like a title charge you would question. Like for me, a title charge should be there and what Chelsea should be looking at. I'm only saying how I see it really in terms of I feel like he needs a season to let the team gel and get the best out next season. But Chelsea, for me, over recent history anyway, they haven't really been someone that's just going to give you time. Maybe they've changed their tune with Frank Lampard, the whole legend status and stuff at the club. Maybe they have changed their tune, but it didn't work with Jose after winning the league. It didn't work with other managers. Di Matteo won the Champions League and only finished 6th that season. Or 7th, was it? 6th or 7th, I'm not too sure about that. It didn't work with him either. So to be honest with you, I do fear for Frank Lampard. I was fear for Frank Lampard. It's hard to say because I feel like who would I say is going to be forced to sack? Like I feel like if Manchester United get their transfers right, they've only 2 weeks to do it. I feel like if they can get in a left back, a defender or a defensive midfielder, 1 of the 2 minimum, and maybe Sancho as well on the right. I feel like they might be okay. I feel like it'll lift everyone at the club. The fans will then settle down. The players will get back to fitness and start playing a bit of football. But like based off the first game at Man United, nothing to be positive about. Only Van de Beek scoring. And Chelsea for me, I don't know if the plan obviously I would say was working because Liverpool looked nullified to be fair in the first half. But they didn't impress really against Brighton either. Like, and again, a lot of new signings. I feel like when the players start to come in fairness, Thiago Silva hasn't been implemented straight away, but I feel like a new keeper's going to come in, then Thiago Silva, possibly a DM, and then Ziyech comes back, and that's 4 more to add into the team at the minute. Yes, they're all better players individually, as I said, but I feel like they're going to find it hard to gel straight away. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like if Lampard doesn't get top 4 this season, it would not surprise me if he gets sacked. And to be honest with you, as good as Chelsea's transfer window was, I wouldn't guarantee them a top 4 spot right now this second. Let me know what you think, guys. I could be talking on my hoop, or some of you might think I'm talking on my hole, to be honest. Just an opinion, just how I feel. But yeah, as I said, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, give it a like, please subscribe as well. And look, as I said, if you want to be in the video in future, at me on Twitter or comment in the comment section below. And until the next video, guys, peace.